Hello, students, and anyone else who may be watching from home. This is Mr. Borges, also known as Zanzolo, and today we're going to be starting our next Scratch project. If this is still 2021, this is going to be the first project of the new semester, although in the future that may not line up exactly that way. But welcome back. So, in this project, we're going to be learning more about using the pen blocks or the pen extension tools and how we can use those blocks to write our name. So here's the video you're watching right now, or it will be as soon as I'm done recording it. And here's our checklist of things we're going to go over. We'll go over them in just a moment. And here's an example project. You can see basically what it does is that it writes your name. So you can watch this example project, but I think what I'm going to do is go ahead and get started. So let's start a new project. So here's the example project right here. Although I'm going to create a new example project with you right now, and we're going to use that as our new example project, and I'll replace the old example project, the new example project. Anyways, we don't need Scratch Cat. I'm going to go ahead and trash can Scratch Cat, and I'm going to choose a new sprite, and this is going to be our pen. It's going to be the sprite that does the writing, but it doesn't have to look like a pen. It really could be anything. And sort of to really help sort of prove the point of that, I'm just going to choose anything that's pointy. I could use the end of the duck's finger. I could use the magic wand or a line or a key to write my name. There is a pencil, right? So, I mean, the pencil kind of makes sense. You could just use the pencil tool. You could use anything, although my suggestion is use something that's kind of pointy somewhere. You could scratch it with the end of the magic wand or something else, but I think it works out better if you do choose something that's kind of pointy. So I'm going to use the first thing that I thought of that I said over there, which was the silly duck. Where did that duck go? There it is. All right, so the duck can write with the tip of its wing here. So to do this is going to be a lot like what we did with the pumpkin pie project, with the whipped cream project. What I'm going to do is I'm in vector mode. I'm going to go to the duck's costume or your pencil or whatever. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to move it off center. I'm drawing a rectangle around the whole thing to select it all. Now I've got my selection tool and I can move my artwork around wherever I want here. What I'm going to do is, you see this little circle with the plus next to it. That shows what Scratch thinks the center of the sprite is. So what I'm going to do is that the pen tool draws from that point, what it thinks the center of the sprite is. So I'm going to change my ducky here so that Scratch thinks the center is the very tip of the wing there. And that way, when the duck moves along and uses the pen block to draw something, it's going to appear to be coming from, the pen mark is going to seem like it's coming from the tip of the wing right there. And if you forget to do that, you'll notice, because it'll look like the pen is drawing, your pencil sprite or whatever you use, it'll look like the line that you're making is coming right out of the center of your sprite instead of the pointy end of it. Okay, so now we've got that, and what we could do is, we're going to write some code for our duck. We're going to need those pen blocks. So down here, I don't need that. Down here, you see where it says add an extension, little plus blocks down here. We're going to click that. We're going to add the pen blocks. I'll click this, and then now we have access to these pen blocks that we didn't have access to before. And the idea is that these blocks, right, erase all, pen up, and pen down all kind of work together. And they have good descriptions, right? The names of them make sense, and they'll help you remember what they do. So as you can imagine, if you have a pen, you're just waving it around up in the air because your pen is up off the table. You're not drawing anything that way. And that's what pen up does. It lifts the pen up, right? This imaginary pen tool. Then if you want to actually draw, you need to put your pen down on the table. While your pen is down, every time you move your pen, it leaves a mark. And that's what pen down does. It puts our imaginary pen tool down on the stage so that whenever it moves, it leaves a mark. Then we can use erase all. It will erase all pen marks. But if we don't erase all, the pen marks will stay. Clicking the green flag does not get rid of pen marks. So we can keep pen marks even after we click the green flag. The only thing that makes them go away is an erase all block. Now we can, of course, attach erase all block to the green flag to make it always erase whenever the green flag is clicked. But that's optional. We could connect this to a button or do other different things with it. For now, I am going to leave it that way. Then what we're going to do is, right, then what we're going to do is we're going to send the duck to different places, put the pen down. I'm just going to go ahead and click pen down now. Then what we can do is I'm just going to, as an example, I'm going to have the duck glide to a random location. And as it does that, you see that it's left a mark. Now the pen is still down, so I can glide to another random location again, glide again, glide again. As long as I'm doing that with the pen down, it makes a mark. Now if I put the pen up, I'm going to go ahead and click that block. Now the pen is up. We can have the duck move somewhere else, doesn't leave a mark. Then we put the pen down, and then now whenever I glide to a random position, we are leaving marks again. So that's the big idea. And then, of course, we can erase all, or clicking the green flag also gets rid of all of our marks. So that's the whole idea behind the project, really. Now what we're going to do, though, is instead of just moving to random places, we're going to make a plan for where we move and when we pick the pen up and pen down to write our names. Okay, and for doing that, you can just go for it. If you're feeling artistic or confident or brave, you can just go for it, free-handed. See how it goes. But I can tell you it's a little bit tricky because you got to plan ahead a little bit, right? I don't want to have great big letters at the front. I'm going to do my last name. Have a great big B at the front here, and then a medium R, and then realize I'm running out of room, and then have a little tiny E, baby S down here at the end or something, right? I'm going to kind of try to plan ahead a little bit. And I can use the computer to help me do that too. So here is a trick. It's not required, but this is a great tip for you. I'm going to go to backdrop. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a temporary backdrop. I'm going to throw this backdrop away before I publish my project. No one is ever going to see this except me. It's a tool for me. What I'm going to do is I'm going to get the text tool out, and I'm going to do is I'm going to write my name right here. Borges. There it is. Okay, I'm going to get my selection tool. I can change the size of it. I can change the location of it, put it where I want it to go. I can change the font style. There's different font styles of this text right here. So you have some choices about that, whatever you want to do. And you can pick what works best for you. Now, I'm going to pick this one because it kind of just lends itself to doing block letters, which is kind of what we're doing anyway. I'm just saying I went off the stage a little bit, so I'm going to shrink this so that it's on the stage. Kind of centered up a little bit, and I think something like that, although I might make it just a little bit taller for show there. Something about like that. That's about what I'm going for. So now I'm going to use this as a guide to help me figure out where to put the duck, and then when I'm done, I'm going to delete this backdrop so that no one's ever going to see it except me anyways. So what I mean by that is now I'm going to go to code. I'm going to go back to the duck. And now we still want to start out this way. When the green flag is clicked, we want to erase all. Okay. Then we need to have a place to start, right? But right, something like that. So I move the duck to where I want to start. The point of its tippity point of its wing to where I want it to start. Okay, and that's where I tell it where I want it to go. So we're going to go to that place. Right. Then I want to put the pen down so I can start drawing, and then we're going to tell it to go to the next place. And that's the big idea. So let's go. I'm going to use the glide block because it's just kind of fun. Instead of just teleporting and the line shows up all at once, it's going to make it seem like the duck is sort of drawing it as it moves. So what I'm going to do now is I'm already at this place right here, that first point. I'm going to grab Ducky and move them to this next point. And I need an instruction telling it to actually go there. There it is. Then I'm going to move Ducky to the next point and then tell Ducky to go there. Right. Then on to the next point. Tell Ducky to go there. Now, should all these be 1 second long? Maybe not. That's something you can, oops, you see that I'm picking a random position. That's just going to be random again. That's not what we wanted. And I could edit this out, but I'm going to leave it there, right? You know what? I'm the teacher. I made a mistake. You fix it. It's not a big deal. All right, so anyways, Ducky back at the beginning. Ducky back at the beginning. We want to move Ducky to that first spot. And then that's not an instruction to go to a random place. We want to go to this certain exact place. And these numbers updated when we move the duck. There we go. Now we move to a certain place, a specific place, and then we tell it to glide to that certain place. And Scratch updates these numbers for us as we go. Right, so the question I was asking before I caught my own mistake there is, it's going from here to here. Is that a 1 second move? Maybe not. Maybe that should be way less than 1 second. That's something we can work on later. Okay, so now I'm going to have it go to here. Glide to this place. And then it's going to kind of backtrack a little bit right to here. Okay, have it a new place to go. Then we're going to go here, a new place to go. Then we're going to have it go here, and a new place to go. I think you get the idea. Now, this guide that I've made is really helping me a lot. I'm not having to figure out what all these numbers are supposed to be. There you have it. So now if I wanted to run this, I could go ahead and run it, and you're going to see that the duck is tracing out the place where I told to go and drawing the name. All right, so that's pretty good, right? No, not too bad. So what we want to do then, and then you can adjust these timings and adjust these things if you want to. You do have some other options here in the pen block. Like I think what I will do is, in here I have the option to set my pen size, I can set the pen size to maybe be a little bit thicker. I don't really know. You'll experiment around with what you want it to look like for you, and then go ahead and try it. See, I think I may be even a little bit thicker than that. I'm going to go ahead and stop it. And so you come up with your own, maybe a lot thicker, I don't know. That seems pretty good. Whoa, do you see this one weird mark that happened though? Because I stopped in the middle, I'll show you again. Because I stopped in the middle and then started again, I got this weird mark at the beginning, which I didn't want. And the reason why that happened is because the pen was down here, and I was following these instructions, and over here somewhere I pushed stop, and then I pushed the green flag. It's true. Went back to the beginning, but the pen was still down. Right? Then we set the pen size, we erased everything, right? And then we moved to the beginning and the pen was still down. And that was a problem. So what I can do is I can switch the order of this. Go to the beginning piece so that we're ready to start. The reset is finished now. Then erase everything. Then put the pen down. That's another option for you. Here, I just want to show you now what happens. You can stop it in the middle and then push the green flag, and I don't have that fine problem. All right. So now we're ready to go on to the next letter. And before we do that, I don't want to draw a mark from here to here. I think everybody gets that, I think, right? So what I need to do is now is the time I need to pick the pen up. Now is when I go to a new place. So I'm going to move Ducky over to here. Then we're going to move to our new place. Now I'm ready to start drawing again. So now is when I put the pen back down. Pen down. Now I can continue drawing. So I'm going to have Ducky go to here. And this part, I think everybody gets the idea, right? This part I may even speed up in this video because I think this part is medium boring. Right? Maybe we'll finish this one, and then I'm going to skip to the end so that you don't have to see me do all the letters one at a time, right? So I go to here. I'm going to go to here. And then we're going to go to here. And we're going to go to there. And then back to where we started. And then we're ready to go on to the next letter, right? So I think folks get this idea. I'm just going to go ahead and run it so that you can see. But then when we finish the O, we're going to pick the pen up again. We're going to move on to the next letter, move on to the R, put the pen down again. So we'll be ready to draw, and then we're going to continue. Right? So that's the big idea. We'll get back to where we started. And then here, we're ready to continue with our instructions. So, right? And I recommend you do this a few times. Don't try to write the whole thing and then run it and then find out there's some horrible mistake somewhere in the middle. It's going to be really tricky for you to go back and figure out, okay, wait a second, was this the wrong block, or was this the wrong block? Or was this the wrong block? And then do I need to add a new block, delete a block? Do I need to delete everything from here on? try it every once in a while. Finish a letter, try it again. It doesn't hurt anything. And then you can just continue coding from there, right? We're going to pick the pen up, going to move ducky, and that's going to be a motion block. You could use a glide. You could use something else for that one. Then I'm going to put the pen down because now I'm ready to draw. Whoops, pen down. And then I'm going to continue in the same way. So this is the point where, right, we're going to move ducky to the next place. Going to have them glide. I'm going to backtrack a little bit and then have them glide. And then I'm going to, I don't think I'm going to even time lapse this. I think I'm just going to skip to the end and then we'll talk about the very end. Okay, so here we go. All righty, folks, I'm just finishing up now. And there we go. So now my ducky or your sprite, whatever you're using, is going to be able to draw your name with pen blocks. Then what we can do is, right, this guide that we created, this backdrop that we made just for this purpose, go ahead and pick yourself a different backdrop now, something that, whatever that you like that's cool or something. And we're going to get rid of that other backdrop, trash can, right? So now no one will ever know. Now no one will ever know that we used a guide, that we used a tool to help us drawing our name with pen blocks. So I just realized that I'm not signed in to Scratch. I don't know why that is. That might happen to some of you sometimes. I could go ahead and try to sign in, but there's a risk that I might lose my project when that happens. So if this ever happens to you, what I'm going to do and what you can try is you can click File right here and pick Save to your computer. It'll save your project as a file to your computer just in case. Just in case everything gets lost and I won't want to have to redo all of this code, because this is actually the biggest bit of code that we've ever written here in this project. I don't need that anymore. So I'm going to attempt to sign in. I don't know for sure what's going to happen. Okay, it saved all my stuff in this case, right? You don't want to just count on that or bet on it. So anyways, right, I can just let this keep going, but there's a few more things that we need to do now. So now you've picked out a better background for yourself. You've got rid of your guide if you used one. I recommend it. I think it's a good idea. Now we can go back to see the project page, and then there's a few more things up here for us to do, right? So we always need a better title than untitled. My name with pen blocks, but you can give this project some other different title, and then some instructions. Although this project doesn't necessarily need a whole lot of instructions, I don't want you to ever leave this area blank. So you can just write something like, click the green flag, or enjoy, or whatever, and that's fine too. Just don't leave it blank. All right, then there's only a few things left to do. I'm going to share my project so that other people can see it. So I'm going to go ahead and let Ducky finish drawing. Yep, there you go. I'm going to go ahead and click share. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy the link. Click copy link down here, and I can copy the link by clicking this. Or you can just triple click and then right click on up there. Then you're going to go back to Canvas. Click this. Well, I'm not in the student view right now, but you'll click this submit assignment button. Here, I'm going to jump into student view. You'll click, oh, I'm not logged into Canvas either. Doop, 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 doop. So click go into student view, and then you'll have, this assignment isn't published yet. All right, well, I'm going to probably end up having to edit all this out of my video. But basically, Look, if I just hurry up and publish this assignment really quickly, write your name with pen blocks. Oh, now it's published. Okay, that's nice. Now that it's published, I can show you in student view. Oh, there. See, so you're going to click right here. It says submit assignment. And then right here where it says what website URL, you're going to do a right click and paste. So you can paste in that address of your project and click submit assignment. And there you go. And we got falling ninjas and confetti or something like that. And that's how you get your 20 points, and it'll tell you right here. Alrighty, folks. So thanks for watching. If you have any questions, please fast forward, rewind, watch parts of this video again, or you can ask me in class or send me an email. And we'll see you next time. Bye.